Every single time Andrew Walker and Tyler Hynes show up in the same Hallmark movie, comment sections explode with the same question. Are these two actually related, or is the chemistry just that good? And the answer, genuinely, is both. These two men are family. Real blood and marriage family, going back over 2 decades, long before either of them became two of the most recognizable faces on this entire network. Let's go through the complete story, how they're actually connected, the full history of their friendship and collaborations, and what might be coming next for two men who somehow turned a family relationship into one of Hallmark's most beloved on-screen partnerships. Let's start with the actual connection, because I want to get this exactly right. Andrew Walker is married to a woman named Cassandra Troy, and Cassandra Troy is Tyler Hynes' cousin. That makes Andrew Walker and Tyler Hynes cousins by marriage. Walker told Us Weekly in February 2023, "Tyler is my wife's cousin. We talk weekly. I've known the guy for 19 years since he started coming to her house for Christmases when I first met my wife. So we have a deep, deep, deep appreciation for each other." In a separate interview with Vulture, Walker described the connection slightly differently, calling Hynes his wife's second cousin, and noting he's known him for about 20 years, adding that Canada has a genuinely small community of actors, especially East Coast actors, which made their paths crossing feel almost inevitable once you understand how tightly connected that industry really is up there. So let's actually trace the timeline. Andrew Walker met Cassandra Troy around 2004. Troy shared the story herself on Instagram in January 2021, writing, "In the first week we met, circa 2004, we discovered each other's love for nature. It started with a hiking trip in Mont Tremblant, followed by countless small wilderness adventures, and some big, big trips. The two eventually eloped and later held a wedding in 2012. And it was through meeting Cassandra that Andrew met Tyler, since Tyler had already been coming to her family's Christmas gatherings for years, as her cousin. That means, as of right now, these two men have known each other for over 2 decades, long before Hallmark Channel ever cast either one of them. Now let's talk about who Tyler Hynes actually is outside of this connection, because I think his own individual story deserves the context. Tyler Hynes was born the 6th of May, 1986, in Toronto, and grew up on a 24-hectare ranch outside Ottawa. He started acting professionally at age 8, landing a 72-performance run of A Christmas Carol as Tiny Tim, followed by a Canadian tour of the Who's rock opera Tommy, playing the 10-year-old version of the title character. He went on to play Atreyu across 13 episodes of Tales from the Neverending Story and starred as the Chosen One in the 24-episode run of Peter Benchley's Amazon. At just 15 years old, he was nominated for Fan Favorite at Canada's Gemini Awards. His Hallmark debut came in 2018, and he's since become one of the most beloved leading men on the entire network, with fans affectionately calling themselves Hynes. And Andrew Walker's own path is genuinely interesting too. He was born the 9th of June, 1979, in Montreal, to Joyce Walker, a librarian, and Bruce Walker, a school administrator. His sister, Jenna Mae Walker, is also an actress and model. Walker actually had an entirely different life planned before acting. He played football at Vanier College and earned a full scholarship to Boston College, only to tear his ACL during a routine spring camp drill before he ever got to play, ending that path completely. He made his film debut in Laserhawk in 1997, appeared in shows like Sabrina, The Teenage Witch, and Maybe It's Me, and won an ACTRA Award for Best Actor in 2008 for Steel Toes. He married Cassandra Troy in 2012, and they have 2 sons together, West, born in July 2015, and Wolf, born in December 2019. And here's a detail I think a lot of fans don't know. Walker and Troy also co-founded a cold-pressed juice company together back in 2013, originally called Clover, later renamed Little West, likely a nod to their son. Walker has said openly that in the early days, a large portion of his Hallmark paychecks went directly into keeping that business alive. Now let's get into how their real-life family relationship actually turned into an on-screen collaboration, because this genuinely started as a joke between them. In 2021, both actors made small cameo appearances in each other's holiday movies. Hynes played a waiter in My Family Christmas Tree, where Walker led as the character Chris, and Walker made a brief appearance in Hynes' film An Unexpected Christmas. Paul Campbell, who wrote An Unexpected Christmas, explained to E! News how it actually happened. He said Walker and Hynes had been constantly bantering back and forth about wanting to appear in each other's movies while they were filming around the same time, and in his words, it kind of started as a joke and then everybody realized what a great idea it was. That joke turned into something much bigger the following year. In 2022, Walker and Hynes co-starred together for the first time alongside Paul Campbell in Three Wise Men and a Baby. The three of them played dysfunctional brothers forced to care for a baby together during the holidays while quietly rebuilding their own relationships as siblings. The movie became the most watched cable TV movie of the entire year, and it has since spawned a sequel, Three Wiser Men and a Boy, which brought the trio back together for round 2. Campbell has spoken about how real their bond actually became on set, joking that the real litmus test for how well people get along on these shoots is what they do at lunchtime, and specifically pointing to their running joke about chicken and broccoli lunch sessions as part of what actually built their friendship day to day. And their friendship genuinely extends well past the set. In June 2022, the two of them shared a trip to Universal Studios together, complete with a giant shared donut and plenty of playful Instagram captions about their bromance. There's a well-circulated photo of the two of them holding hands at a California theme park. Walker has posted about watching his own project, 27-Hour Day, together with Hynes as his, in his words, one and only viewing partner. These are not two actors who simply get along professionally. This is a genuine, decades-old family friendship that happened to also become extremely good television. Andrew Walker has actually spoken about why he thinks these kinds of real bonds form so naturally at Hallmark in the first place. He's referenced a quip from Michelle Vicari, the network's EVP of programming, who has said Hallmark is very discriminating about who they hire, that they simply don't hire people who aren't kind to work with, and that they actively try to cast people who are compatible with each other whenever possible. I think that philosophy is exactly why a real family connection like Walker and Hynes was able to turn into such a successful, beloved on-screen pairing instead of just staying a private family relationship in the background. Now, what's actually coming next for these two? This month, both Andrew Walker and Tyler Hynes were among the more than 20 stars who appeared at Hallmark's sold-out 25th anniversary celebration in New York City. So whatever else is happening in their individual careers, they were literally standing on the same stage together again just weeks ago. As for this year's Countdown to Christmas lineup specifically, both men currently have separate confirmed projects rather than a new joint film. Tyler Hynes is starring in The Nights Before Christmas opposite Lacey J. Maylee, built around a Groundhog Day-style time loop premise. Andrew Walker is starring in Christmas in Blue Dog Valley opposite Erin Cahill. I want to be honest that, as of everything currently confirmed, there is no official announcement of a new Walker and Hynes joint movie for this specific holiday season. But given the sheer success of Three Wise Men and a Baby, the fact that it already earned a sequel, and the two of them clearly having no shortage of chemistry or willingness to keep showing up in each other's projects, I honestly think a third installment or an entirely new joint film together is less a question of if and more a question of when. This franchise has already proven itself as one of the network's biggest hits, and Hallmark rarely walks away from a formula that works this well, especially one built on a friendship this genuinely real. Drop a comment and tell me, did you already know Andrew Walker and Tyler Hynes were actually cousins by marriage before this video? And do you think Hallmark should bring back Three Wise Men and a Baby for a third movie, or give these two an entirely new story to work with together? Because after 2 decades of real family history behind the camera, I honestly don't think their on-screen chemistry is going anywhere anytime soon.